Dude, I was impressed. I didn't know you were actually going to shave your beard. So what was the situation? You collected a bunch of money, and when you got to a certain amount?
Yeah, I was only at like $150 or something for my Movember. I wasn't pushing it hard. So there was like 1 week left. I'm like, all right, if I earn over 1,000, then I'll shave my beard. And all of a sudden, oh, like it came in. I figured you contributed because there was an anonymous. I'm like, that's TJ for sure.
No, I didn't see it actually.
I thought it would be my wife. Gertrude's like, I'll give the full 1,000. But I feel
So
like my head's like this small. Like it's like if my head used to be this long,
no,
twice as long almost, and now it's like this.
no. Your head was your head was never that long.
Well, with
And
the beard.
by the way, for anyone only listening to the podcast, Rich, to conclude, Movember shaved his epic Moses beard. So
Yep,
we are
wow.
on camera for the first time. Dude, you look 10 years younger.
I know that's what everyone says. Gertrude said she's worried that, people think I'm her son. I'm like, let's not get carried away.
Well, I mean, that's
Younger
not a
man.
bad thing. Well, now you got to moisturize. Like, are you moisturizing and
Oh
stuff?
yeah. I always moisturized anyway when I had the beard. So that's why I was surprised that it wasn't like shockingly white when I shaved it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but did you see the picture with the big handlebars?
Dude,
Pretty crazy.
what I loved is that Adam like immediately went in and did the Gen AI thing and put your like handlebar mustache dude on a motorcycle.
It was perfect. It was
I thought it
perfect.
was awesome. Dude, congratulations. I know it's weird because I remember, so I had a mustache from like peach fuzz, like freshman year in high school until I got married the first time. I think I was 27. And I remember when I shaved, it was like weird drinking water. I was like, ooh, there's something on my lip. Like, I didn't like that.
Well, that's what Gertrude's like. Oh my God, I can see your face. I can see your lips. I can see your facial expressions, like all kinds of things. I mean, it's funny because Gertrude and the girls are both big fans of like short beard,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
even like this kind of, or a little longer but short.
yeah.
I kind of miss it though, so I'm not so sure. But
Are you
even
gonna
my
grow
mom
it?
was all over me. My mom's like, "Don't grow it back. Like keep it short." Like
Why didn't you? What? So just out of curiosity, how come you never did like the longest mine gets is still a eighth of the size of yours, but how come you don't like try the short and trim version and just get that face profile, like just let it carve you out?
well, maybe I can now, like when it's growing back, like try some different lengths. I don't know. There's something that I really liked having a long beard and playing with it. Like I'm touching my face a lot. I'm like, what the hell? Like I catch myself in the mirror. I'm like, who? Like, I mean, I look younger, which is kind of funny.
Yeah,
But
that's amazing. Take your glasses off. Oh my goodness, dude, that's like the first time I met you right there.
no, for sure. I mean, 2000, what, 5 or something? Is that when we met?
Yeah, it was. We were at the Marco was doing training, onboarding for you and I and and a German partner that flew over, if I remember correctly, Marco
Yeah, it was
Kimball.
like 2005. So I mean, that's 20 years ago. I had that beard for 8 years. I never shaved it for 8 years.
It's been 8 years. Wow. I remember I saw you at Dreamforce and we got a picture together and no one realized that was you at the Commerce Lodge. And that memory of that picture just came up because all the Dreamforces have happened in the last couple of months over the years. So
I was just trying to be like you, dude. I
I
mean,
you
I was trying to
you
grow my beard like you when your beard was long. I mean, I got tattoos. Like I was just trying to be like TJ. I mean, it's kind of like it was a contest.
I appreciate that. I don't really think it's accurate, but I do appreciate it. So
Partially. Come on, partially accurate. You've been with me. You
I've
helped
got
with my
to
tattoos.
I've got to shave. Like I'm gonna do BBL when I get back through December. In January after New Year's, I'm gonna do. Have you ever done BBL?
Mm-mm.
So it's a laser treatment you do. I don't know what they call the spas. I go to a guy that does plastics, but he's got like a Medi Spa side. But it's this, they numb your face with a cream and it's a laser and it brings these dark spots out. I don't know if you can
Oh
even
wow.
see them. It brings them out. And if you don't touch it for like 2 weeks, but they run it over your face and any sun damage you have is brought forward. It almost feels like mud on like little bitty mud pieces on your face.
Mm.
And then within 7 to 8 or 9 days, you don't wash with a face cloth. You just use your hands and some soap, but it falls off and it clears your entire face up. So I do it. I do it once a year.
So do you
Um,
have to shave for that or shave?
I will this time. I didn't because I go get shit done and but they can only do half my face because the rest of it's covered in hair. So they can't put this laser on hair. There's like a 50-50 chance it'll never grow back again. And I
Oh
don't want
boy.
to. I don't want to look like a patchwork quilt. But you should try while you're clean shaven. You should look into getting a hydrofacial and something called BBL. I know they do it in Chicago. I'm
I'll check
telling
it
you
out.
right now, it'll change your life and it'll set you up for the next year, to be honest
I've
with you.
had those hydrofacials before, and those are awesome. But it
Yeah,
was like you said, I had a beard, so it was only part of my face. Yeah.
dude, while you're like this, I shit you not, the BBL's worth every penny. Clean
Oh,
shave,
cool.
go in, get a hydrofacial and get BBL. And I'm telling you, it'll change your life. So then you can
That's
put the
awesome.
beard back on. But I do want to see it tight like mine. I think if you really want to be like me, we got to have same beard length for a little while.
To see how we look together.
I'll grow mine out. I'll tell you what, you keep yours short for a little while, like mine, and then we will grow them out
Okay.
together through 26.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. I'm in. And I was thinking for next year for Movember, like, I mean, I think I raised 1,500, 1,600 bucks, which is pretty good.
Hmm.
Next year, I set the goal a little higher and say, like, if we, make whatever goal, then I'll keep like the handlebar mustache for the month of December or something like that.
I'm 100% going to pay attention to that because, I mean, if we could just pick three designs that are like it's like a slow removal of your beard. Like we'll just start first with like massive land chops and a disconnected handlebar. And then we'll get rid of the handlebar and I just want these Wolverine chops. I'm
Oh
gonna go
man,
on record right now. I'll put $5,000 up to see that. And I get to pick the designs, but it has to be over 8 weeks.
that's
So
what it should be like. How about only 4 weeks? But that
no,
would be next year. We'll think about
no,
it.
no, no,
I
because
mean, I had that goatee. Like, did you see? Like, I shaved all this,
I
but it
did.
was so long. It was like this long. It was like too long.
I know, but the
And
thing
then
is
we trimmed it. I have it still. We cut it off and put it in a ponytail. So I literally have the little ponytail with my beard still.
in the middle of these shaving designs, I need it to last long enough so I can bring you to NRF.
People would lose their mind. They wouldn't even know what was going on.
They would fucking love that. But dude, I'm proud of you. You've been doing the Movember thing for how long now? It's been, I mean, and it's very
No,
personal.
that's when I first grew it. Like, when I just said I've had the beard for 8 years. The first time I grew my beard was 2017 for Movember. I just sold my business like November 1st, we closed, and then I grew my beard, and then I shaved once, and then I kept it for 8 years.
That's amazing. I love that.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a good charity, right? I mean, we as guys get all fucked up. I know, 6 or 7 guys that committed suicide. Like, just,
yeah,
men's health is a real thing, right?
yeah. We don't. I mean, we don't have to go down that rabbit hole, but this whole like poisoning masculinity and
Yeah,
all of these other things is a
yeah,
little disappointing. I think it's fading finally, and I
I do
think we're
too.
getting back to normalcy. And you know, my wife and I don't subscribe to that. I mean, I am what I am, and she is what she is, and it's the perfect mix um, of what a couple is supposed to be, male and female couple. That is right. It's
Oh, totally. You got the
I
yin
have
and
my
yang.
role, and she has hers. Yeah. And she, a lot of people think she's the strong one. She's the one that keeps me motivated and keeps me going, which is
Well,
good.
I think
So,
we both have both, right? We have feminine, I mean, and we have masculine, right? I mean,
oh
I
yeah,
think,
oh yeah. Fuck, what did I do? We were out to dinner, so I took her out for a date night on Saturday. And what our new thing is, she's got so many clothes. She's like, I never know what to wear. So I pick out her outfit, and then I tell her when she has to be ready, and I don't tell her where we're going. So on Saturday we went out and got bar seats at a restaurant that we literally haven't been at downtown. Never been able to get a seat because the owner and I aren't the best of buddies. And when I walk in, the last thing he's going to do is give me a table. So I called and I made a res. But dude, I was at the bar and we were talking about some serious topic. And like, I could have cried at the bar when I was talking to her about, I don't remember what it was. She literally goes, don't, she goes, don't. do not do it because if I lose it, then she
Then she's
loses
gonna
it.
have waterworks
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
right?
and then she's like, "I got makeup on," and I was like, "I don't have any makeup on," and
Well, you know
but,
me. I mean, I watch commercials about kids and stuff and I cry, right? So, I mean,
yeah, well, there's some shit I can't talk about and I can't watch, but it's all good. I'm proud of you, dude. I love that you shaved it. I feel like an alien when I shave. I just see every flaw that I think my beard hides.
well, I
Uh,
let it kind of start growing back in, so it's kind of hiding things, right? But I haven't seen pimples and stuff. I'm like, oh fuck, I got a pimple there on my neck. You know, that's all covered up.
Speaking of beard shapes for NRF, are you gonna head down? NRF is in a few weeks. Are you gonna go to New York?
I'm not gonna go this year. We'll be down in Mexico, so I'm not gonna make it. This will be the first year in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm doing a contract gig right now, which we haven't talked about, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go or not. I'm supposed to golf with Jack and Andy down in Nashville. Andy's going to come up, do New Year's here, and
Oh
then we're going
no.
to fly down and he's got a jet. We're going to fly back to Nashville with him, and then we'll fly commercial back home. But there's a there's a big ask for me to go to NRF because I haven't seen people in a while. But
Yeah,
I don't know. It's expensive. It's I'm gonna the Ritz is an expensive hotel. I mean, just going to New York is expensive, and I'm not I don't usually stay in the cheap places, but I
sure.
miss everybody. It's a chance
Yeah,
to
me
see
too,
everybody. And plus, a lot of folks I mentor sort of on the DL are going to be
for
there and
sure.
stuff like that.
I'm
So,
trying to figure out Shop Talk. I don't know if you're going to Shop Talk,
well,
but
that was my next question. So I'm 50-50 on NRF. We'll see. But where are you on Shop Talk? Are you not sure if you're going to go out there?
I'm not sure. I mean, if you go and other people go, then I'll probably go, but it's up in the air. I haven't decided for sure if I'm going, but some of it will depend on who's going, right? I mean, it's great to see people and so I didn't go to Dreamforce. Um, and
Yeah.
if I'm not at NRF, I would love to go to Shop Talk just to see people, maybe get a round of golf in at Valley High, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it depends on the weather. Again, Shop Talk, I just feel like the old senior out there, like telling the same stories I've
You
been
and me
telling.
both, brother.
Well, no, I just feel like I'm at this point where run into all of these people and it's like, you know, they're struggling with things I struggled with 15 years ago and they're tired of hearing the story about me
What we
walking.
should do is, dude, we should totally, if we're gonna do it, we should post it up and do a podcast and just grab, like, post up at a restaurant, just grab people and interview them.
That might not be a bad idea. I did spend a bunch of money on this 4-track that we've
Like,
never
how fun would
traveled.
that be? Like, literally, we'd be like, "Hey, Brian Callahan, come over here," and just sit down and just have some conversations with people. We could set some up, but some of them we could just do ad hoc. Like, "Hey, come and talk to us," like live with
Yeah, yeah.
DJ and Rich.
Like do a
That'd be
couple
that
hours.
would be fun.
Yeah, a couple hours a day of flybys.
Yeah, that'd be super fun.
I actually like that idea. One of the reasons I'm considering Shop Talk is Lazoff and what's that other dude's name? Justin Silver. They're doing that charity boxing event. They want to
Yes,
raise
yes,
$1 million. I forget what the charity is, but did you see I offered to like do commentary? Like
you did. Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
No,
I
did you
said
see that Adam volunteered me to fight? I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that, and then I saw Borman and Lazoff get into a little pissing match, and I'm not positive, but it sounded like those two want to get in the ring with each other.
Really?
Yeah, but I told Laz that I'm not sure if I'm going to go, but if I went, I'd be happy to do ringside
Oh, I'd love
commentary.
to. I'll sit
Only
next
because
to you
I
and
mean,
support you.
you box. I mean, I've been training stand up for almost 20 years now. So,
What's
uh,
the charity? I forget. Do you remember what the actual charity is?
I actually forget what the charity is. Let's see. They don't say it. They said they're going to have about 500 ecom executives, and they're looking to raise $1 million.
Wow.
And I offered to do live ringside calling. I'd have to go. Let me see if I can actually find it on
That
Silver's
would be
thing here.
fun. I mean, that might give us a reason to go do this, right?
Yeah, yeah. Do you know this cat, Justin Silver? His thing is fight. They call it Fight for Charity. But let me see if I can find the. It doesn't say. It just says for charity. It doesn't actually say what charity. But So that's probably the only reason I would go out there, to be honest with you. And again, I would just like to see everybody. I have no interest in getting in the ring and
No,
hurting somebody or getting hurt by somebody.
I mean, I got my nose fit. I mean, after the last time when I actually had 2 sanctioned bouts, one, I won both of them, so I'm undefeated, but one, I tore my ACL, and then the second or the first one I broke my nose, the second one I tore my ACL.
So you're a no on NRF, but you're a maybe on Shop Talk. And if I talk with Silver and Laz, maybe we go do the ringside stuff
It's
together.
super fun. I'd do it with you for sure.
All right, let me look into that because I really wasn't interested in paying for my own flight out there, but maybe I can find somebody that I'm working with to do that. Shop Talk 2026. I'm trying to find the dates.
What's the date? That's what I was just looking at.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the 24th, March 24,
Yeah, 24 through 26.
20.
So, we'll see. I'll take a look at it. I'm back training. So I don't know if I told you I went and I went and did blood. So did I tell you I actually just took like 3 or 4 months off from, I still ate well and stuff, but I stopped training. I literally took like 16 weeks off just to see what happened if I focused
Oh,
on diet, but I didn't train. Like I didn't do any workouts. I didn't do anything for,
really?
yeah,
No, I didn't know that.
for 4 months. It was a pretty interesting, um, thing to see, and it'll come back to the shop talk stuff, but I wanted to see because I've been on this program called Functional Patterns for a couple of years, which
Yeah,
is
you've been
really
telling me about that.
Naughty Aguilar, and it's very different. It's not like going in one direction, one plane lifting and things like that. Um, but I took off August, September, October,
Wow.
and almost all of November, and I wanted to see what happened. I wanted to see how
When you
quickly.
say no workout, like no cardio, no lifting, nothing?
Nothing, like nothing.
Just like golf or whatever, but no
Yeah,
formal.
golf. Well, yeah, I don't call that a workout. No, I
Okay.
walked and shit, but I didn't do any resistance training, no weight
Wow.
training, and I did very minimal martial arts. Like I was doing jujitsu. I was doing privates for jujitsu for a while. Um,
How did you
but
feel? I'd be curious on the results.
dude, this was the thing about the functional patterns thing. I actually felt fucking great for the
Wow.
first 12 weeks. Like I didn't really have any loss of anything, and it's
No loss of
interesting.
muscle or anything?
No, no.
Wow, that's
And it
phenomenal.
wasn't until the last month that I actually started to see and feel and notice degradation. And then my weight started moving a little bit at around week 14 or 15, moving up a few pounds. So it was good. Well, I've been on this functional patterns thing, which is a very controversial sort of program, and
I
I'm
might have
actually
thought that your weight would go down because if you started losing muscle, but if you didn't lose muscle.
Well, I either didn't lose muscle or I offset it with fat and didn't notice. But I didn't because I just know. I know when you get up and
Sure.
I have big mirrors in the house and I don't wear clothes in the master bedroom and we have a lot of mirrors in there. So I'm constantly watching myself. There's a little bit of shape shifting that goes on. It can't help but happen after 16 weeks. But then I went back out, I did blood work. So I actually had blood work done 12 weeks into this to see what
Wow.
my blood work would be like without exercise. And then I went and did the Pernuvo scan as well when I was in Boca with
Oh,
Dylan.
cool.
So
Yeah, I just did a bunch of scans too.
what's that?
I just did a bunch of scans too, like all the CT, MRIs and that. My cholesterol's a little high,
Yeah, LDL or HDL.
LDL.
Yeah, yeah. So was mine. So I basically sort of baseline my blood work after not exercising. Of course, I golfed a shitload. I don't know if finally got my handicap down to 19, but
Good for
and
you.
then now I'm back militant on my eating. So I do like a 16 or 18/6 fasting. So I usually don't eat till noon, and I usually don't eat till after 6 or 7, except
Like
once a
true
week.
intermittent fasting.
Yeah, yeah, like every day, like six out of 7 days. So, and I'm back working out, doing my program that I do, and in 10 days, it's been like I'm shocked that I was able to put up with not doing it for so
It
long.
feels good. Yeah.
So
What do
now
you
I'm
think
gonna.
about the LDL stuff? Like, are you worried about it? Are you thinking about statins or anything of that? I kind of don't want it.
I will never take pharmaceuticals unless it's a life or death situation. I actually think that food is nutrition, and I purposely was eating a high protein, high fat, low carb diet. And when you do a low carb diet, you don't get as much fiber in there as you probably should. And when I say low carb, I'm talking 55 grams a day of carbs.
Yeah, I was doing
Um,
keto for a few weeks, and yeah, it's totally different.
So now I'm back on the other side where I'm back, again, when you're
Mm,
doing high fat, high protein, it's hard to get, more than 10 grams of fiber without supplementation. But now I'm up in that 25 to 30 gram a day range in fiber, but of course the carbs go up. Um,
right.
and then just paying attention and doing the intermittent fasting, like literally 6 days a week. And then we had a free day. Date night was a free day. I went out and enjoyed some wine and things like that. And
But with the
um,
holidays rolling in, that's a tough season for me because I want to eat bread, I want
yeah,
to have cookies. I mean, yeah.
yeah. Well, I love all that shit. So it's a challenge. But then I also got a big trip coming up. I'm going to be gone for 14 days. So, it'll be interesting because I'm trying to baseline and
Right.
then see what happens. Because I'm always running experiments. I have a lot of time on my hands, so I'm always like running nutritional stuff and supplementation stuff. But I'm back on all the stops, back in the gym, back doing everything, and I feel great. I got blood work done. They said my biological age was only 42, so
Wow.
that was good. But Function Health is where I'm and doing the blood testing now, and it's great. It's affordable, and they run a gazillion tests, over 100 tests. They took 17 vials out of me, but they don't fucking tell you anything. They just give you like this generic physician's write up, which is somebody that knows what a good blood test and a good consult is after a blood test. It's fucking bullshit. And so now I've had to find a different organization called Protocol out of Boston that will look at my Function Health blood work and actually do the shit that Gary Brecka's organization used to do, back
Wow.
when I was using 10X for all of that stuff, which
Yeah.
I think we've talked about, a couple of years ago. I think it might be is it like 2 or 3 years? And I don't remember. It was, but,
Now,
it's
what's
sort of,
the tell me a little more. What's the did you say is it functional movement? What's the name of it?
well, there's two things I just mentioned. The exercise program I do is called Functional Patterns.
Yeah. Yeah. What is that? Because I don't know. I don't think I know what that is because I remember there was a time when I was doing more. Did you ever know like the animal pattern stuff where you're doing a lot of movement on your hands and knees and doing very functional movements like that? But I think what you're talking about is probably different, right?
Yeah, well, the animal movements have proven to be degradative and a problem, just like yoga. Yoga creates this flaccidity in your tendons. So functional patterns, and I don't want to quote them, so anyone that's aware, don't be mad at me. I'm actually going to an in-person seminar in Chattanooga in April, but to get
Cool.
certified. But it's this whole idea around hydrating and taking care of your myofascial network that is under your skin, essentially, and hydrating that and feeding that the right way. And it's also about natural multi-plane movements. So the
Hmm.
entire movement is predicated on this idea that we were really, for thousands of years, maybe millions, we're designed to do four things, right? Stand, walk, run, and throw. That is really what our bodies are built for. It's not built for anything else, really. We can do other things, but for tens of thousands of years, our job has been standing, walking, running, and throwing. And that is how we function. And the
Yeah, so
muscles
some
that
of
are
the
involved.
weightlifting things you're strengthening muscles that you're never going to use. Like you never do that movement outside of the gym.
Well, it's about, it's funny you say that. It's about the functional side of strength and healthiness and not the visual side. Now, yes, you can build muscle, right? But it isn't about, the beach body. It's about pain in your back going away, pain in your neck going away. It's about the pain in your ankles and your knees going away. Because a lot of the pain that we have in our body is caused by myofascial issues and then muscular imbalances, right? So when we talk about the exercises we do, they're part sort of multi-muscle group exercises in one continuous thing. Some people used to maybe call it plyometrics. Other people call it just functional movement. Everyone is either very for it or very against it. It's a very polarizing thing.
Interesting.
But I can tell you that it changed my life. I had a shoulder, couldn't throw a baseball or a football, couldn't.
Wow.
Had a hard time golfing, went away. No doctors, no drugs, no nothing. I fixed it over the
Wow.
course of 90 days. I have issues with my hips from years and years of hacky sack and then decades of sitting on my ass in a chair. Um, if I have an issue with my lower body, any part, ankle, knee, hip, high glute, if you travel too much, you get those knots that
Too
they
much thinking. Yeah,
they feel
100%.
deep. I know how to get rid of those in fucking
Wow.
10 minutes, like permanently get rid of them. So anyway, it's called functional patterns. This is a dude called Naughty Aguilar. My point with the whole thing for Shop Talk is that I may actually go out there because I would love to help with the event, and I would love to see how these people are training and what they're doing, and I would love to see how they move in the ring from a
That
table
would be
side
cool.
view, right? And kind of understand what's going on. I also have a buddy out in Vegas, Skip Kelp, who's actually a Boxing Hall of Fame inductee. And
Really?
yeah, I met him through Dana. So he's actually one of Dana White's very, very best friends. They've known each other since they were kids in Vegas. And Skip travels a lot with Dana. And I trained one time with Skip. I went and did privates with him. So
Is Dana involved in the new, I just saw it recently, the new wrestling league? Is Dana involved in that or no? Like,
no, Dana's focused as far as the WME Zuffa network or whatever we're calling it now. I believe his attention is on the UFC and Power Slap.
God.
And then he's got other businesses outside of that he's involved in, right? He
Because there's a
bought
new
Night.
league. Have you seen that? It's like pure wrestling, a new like pure wrestling league. And they
Well,
just
he's, I mean, you mean actually, oh, you mean real traditional wrestling, like proper
traditional
wrestling.
wrestling, not
Yeah.
UFC, MMA, but traditional freestyle,
Yeah.
collegiate
Yeah.
kind of
I,
wrestling league.
don't quote me, but I think he's involved with it in the sense that the UFC YouTube channel, it's not YouTube, but UFC has its own like network
Yeah.
channel, UFC TV. I believe they syndicate all of that on UFC TV, and I think he's involved because
Cool.
they use his network to get the jiu-jitsu tournaments out there, freestyle, gi and no gi, and then probably the wrestling stuff as well. I do know that he's part of. They started up like a Ultimate Fighter style thing with jujitsu,
Okay.
and that's been actually going really well. But he's got a bunch of personal shit, right? He's got Nitro Circus and, um, Form, and he's a very busy dude. And I haven't talked to him in a. I mean, I talked to Skip more than anybody, but I haven't seen or talked to Dana in a while. I haven't been to a fight in a year. Oh no, that's not true. I went to Nashville. Never mind. I saw him in Nashville.
I've
But
never been to one. I'd like to go sometime, but yeah.
yeah, I'm not on the free ticket bus anymore. So, and I found out that the tickets he was giving me for free are $25,000 a piece.
Wow.
So I don't ask for tickets anymore
Wow.
for,
Yeah.
yeah. But I bought 2 front row seats just off of the Zuffa section for the Nashville fights, and Shannon and I went. I was shocked there were 2 seats available. It was right behind where Joe Rogan and
Oh, cool.
Daniel Cormier and Anik and those guys announced. And of course I saw everybody there. I saw Skip and all those
That's all.
guys and all of that. So Shop Talk. So you might be interested in going. I went way off
If
track
you're
on the
going and we
nutrition
do
thing.
some of this stuff, for sure I would go. I
Okay.
mean, if we do some tea with Rich interviews and podcasts, that could be super fun with people there,
Okay.
and this boxing thing could be super fun. I mean,
Yeah.
that would make it worthwhile, and we get around to golfing, right? I mean, and of course see everyone,
Yeah.
especially if I'm not going to NRF.
Yeah. For me, it's just about spending the money, because then I end up going out with Dylan, and next thing I know, we're at a table and a fucking $20,000 bill.
See, that's the only good thing about me not drinking. I can kind of avoid that bottle service, I guess.
You don't avoid it. You still come. You just don't touch anything.
Exactly. I maybe get a cranberry. I can have my cranberry service.
Even Dylan said he's not sure if he's going to go this year. Like, there's no like the only reason I might go is this charity event.
Yeah. And we're
And
involved with people and we know people. It'd just be more to see people, I guess.
yeah, if we did a live cast out there every day, and then
I don't know
also
if Adam's going. Like, I don't know if he'll be there.
I brought him last time when he was there for the big
Oh,
Indian dinner at the Trump Hotel. So,
oh yeah, that was
but
awesome.
then he came to Did we go to Sonoma then? No, Sonoma was a different trip. Yeah, no, Sonoma was a different trip. But yeah, fuck, I was just out in Sonoma too. I had to use up a bunch of my auction items. So I took like 7 auction items, and over 8 days, I orchestrated this epic thing. So I invited Zangle and Nicole out as sort of a wedding gift because I'm not going to be able to go to their Jack and Jill. And then I had DeMello and Allison come out. And
Oh,
then I had other friends from that live out there come. So every night we did something different,
that's
like
all.
super extravagant. It was absolutely amazing. And I golfed. I think I golfed at Mayacamer out there, which was good. So
Yeah, I played on Saturday. I was down in Naples seeing my mom, and I played with Mitch and his grandfather and my mom's husband, and I fired a 79. Pretty
ho-
good,
holy shit.
pretty good. And I shot a
79.
39 and a 40, and I had two doubles, one on the front and one on the back, and I had two birdies. But my doubles where I had really what I thought were really good drives, and I got up there and they went too far and into water. So I took two OBs, but I was hitting the ball really well. I mean, it's funny. I would be curious when you talk about these functional patterns. Like I feel like my body is moving better than it has before, which for golf is really important, right?
Yeah. Well, so it requires, hips and shoulders and your core,
Yeah.
and it requires, quite frankly, a lot of
Some
electric.
flexibility, right?
Yeah, and you can do it 2 ways. You can do it by having 0 muscle, where you're ultimately flexible, or by building those snap patterns. Like Naughty does this thing where the difference between muscular strength and myofascial strength is if you tap your finger on a table, just your index finger, and you just tap it as hard as you can and keep tapping it. And then myofascial is if you grab the tip of that finger and pull it back and bend it backwards while putting pressure on it, and then let go, and how hard that hits the table. That's the difference between muscular strength and myofascial strength when everything's
Wow,
firing together. Um,
Yeah, if
and
you
I can
have
tell you,
that whip, I mean, that's golf, right? If you can load here and let it whip, I
uh,
mean, that's going to be better strike. I need
or
some elongating exercises if you have any of those because I'm getting shorter for sure.
like
I'm
height
like
wise or distance.
height
Oh,
wise, and some of it is disc. Like 4 years ago, my L4 L5 was like this, and then just when I went in and had my MRI, it's like this. So I mean, it's almost bone on bone. I mean, I do the right thing, so it doesn't bother me.
yeah.
But I'm like, I just got I think I'm 5'9" and a quarter or 5'9" and a half at the most. And at one time I was almost 5'11".
I was sick. I'm 5'11". That's pretty much where I am right now. But I do a lot of these exercises are around posture and
That's what I mean. I'll have to talk to, I need some, what is, I would say elongating exercise because lifting weights is a lot of pushing you down versus like lengthening.
I'll see if I can find a practitioner in Chicago.
That'd
I
be
know
great.
I know you're going to be going down to Mexico, but let me see if I can find a practitioner there, so that
That's
you
cool.
have somebody you could go do, because it's an arduous process in the beginning. It's hard to get through. It's hard to get through the first couple of stages of it.
Yeah.
You really got to have your eye on kind of the long ball, because it's almost like feeling like you're learning. You're like, I already know how to walk, and it's like, well, you got to
Learn again.
you got to
Yeah.
learn how to walk. Even though you can walk, I need you to learn how to walk the right way, which is a whole other dialogue. But hey, switching topics here. How much are you paying attention and staying involved in like commerce and what's going on with all the? I mean, are you involved with commerce dialogues with all the groups that you're either consulting and advising for?
Different, I'd say peripheral conversations, right? Like, we had Dave on not too long ago. So, CQL and Shopify space. I talked to Steve Pruden a lot at Studio Science. So that's more in the Salesforce space though.
Hmm.
And they're kind of making a bit of a bet on, AI and how to use AI with Stripe and with Salesforce to kind of, I don't know, we would call it guided purchasing maybe, right? But recommending and then taking you through the sales process and buying something for you, which is we'll see how far that goes. We talked about it kind of last time a little bit.
Yeah, it's immature.
So with them and so there's a few people, you and I talked to Helena at archive and see kind of what's going on with scale. So I'm kind of around the edges, I'd say.
Do you get a sense with the folks that you talk with that we're out of the kind of stagnation period that is we've kind of had for the last year? Like, I mean, no one likes me to say that, but it's almost been like kind of like stick in the mud, maybe stuck in the mud coming out of COVID. It's almost like, is the COVID hangover over, and are we back on a growth track? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Because I feel like 25 was kind of a stagnant year.
It's funny when because I do talk to a lot of people, um, and everyone's been more positive, from what I'd say a pipeline perspective. I wouldn't say it's booming, we're not going crazy, but I think people are more positive that, deals will start happening again. Like it seems like there's more activity. So it'll be interesting. And I think obviously the economy has a lot to do with that in terms of if people are going to spend or not. And obviously people worry about tariffs and depending on where they're sourcing their goods from and, the cost of their products. But I'd say in general, I think the people I talked to have been much more positive in terms of it's not like nothing, because for a while, like you said, it felt stagnant. Nothing was happening. People were pushing deals. And it sounds like people are starting to see some light in terms of deals are starting to happen.
Well, I feel like during COVID, there was so much like digital transformation, and this can never happen again. And we need to get ready for the next generation. And, even with Mike Janiak on, we talked about this idea that we're in like, I think the third generation of user experience or third stage of it. But then COVID ended and everyone was like, fuck. It's kind of like when everyone leaves your house after the holidays, you just don't want to do anything for a little while.
No, I
And
think people pulled everything forward. Think about like even B2B, people pulled all those projects forward because they had to during COVID. And then, of
yeah.
course, we have a period of time where we did our project. Like, we're not going to invest again.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like people started down that path and then just kind of like maybe pulled up a little soon on it and didn't get where they need to be. I
Well,
think
it's
the
funny if
other
you
interesting,
think, I mean, we're old enough, so we can think back to the dot-com boom and bust. So think back then where everyone invested, then there was a hangover after that.
yeah,
And then, another event like the bank, you know, crash or whatever you want to call it,
mortgage
all of a
crisis.
sudden people stopped doing things, and there was a hangover from that. And then COVID, there was a hangover for that. So like you said, we're kind of into the third or,
Yeah,
recent.
I think we're at a peak right now. I think we're going to have a reckoning in 26 when all of these billions of dollars shoved into these half-assed AI ideas. I wholly behind it and believe in it, but I don't know. I'm in my portfolio is shifting. I'm in a defensive position, but I did well. I mean, I bought NVIDIA at 12 bucks. I have Salesforce at 54 and shit like that. But even Salesforce is down. But I think the other hard part with the commerce industry is it's a bit of a challenge when there's really just one clear group out there winning, and that it isn't. You don't have as many people hunting for as many deals and fighting the way that they used to. We're Adobe, I don't even know where they are on the scale. Hybris, is it dead? Is it not dead? I keep hearing it's coming back with some other flavor. And then,
Right.
of course, we know the, agent force commerce slash commerce cloud slash B2C slash demandware. Um,
D2C, yeah, whatever you want.
yeah, yeah, all of that. And I don't know, it's interesting. I think the lack of competition out there, like real legitimate on their toes competition, also creates kind of a lull. Um, but I don't know, we'll see. I have a gig that I'm doing with a brand right now where
Cool.
I'm helping them. There's a lot of good ideas out there, but there aren't a lot of people that can take an idea and shape it in a manner that an agency can work with it the right way. And there aren't a lot of agencies that have people that hold them accountable, right? Like there's this kind of gray area between, I want to do this B2B thing, or I want to do this B2B2C thing, or, I want to do this
Right.
functional maturity thing. And then you got to figure out, does this agency know what they're doing? Have you written it up right? Whose job is it to actually take the idea and make it into something that makes sense to somebody? So that's
Well, think
actually,
about it like the mature agencies, like you guys, Pixel, Lions, like we're all out of market now. And when I say mature, like, we were 14 years, you guys were over 20, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
think about
30.
your agency that has seen a lot and can like see the ecosystem. And now you have new that I don't know, it's hard. I think what you're saying is correct. I think it's harder. You don't
I
have the
think
perspective.
well, you also got new, not new, but you have leadership on the brand side that is pretty new to the cutting edge of what's actually happening out there too. So how do you bridge that gap? So that's what I'm doing right now. That's me. I love that. I love to get in a room and hear an idea and actually know how to transform it into something. But then somebody's got to hold these agencies accountable for it too, right?
Yeah.
It's been interesting listening to people express concerns within the brand side about what it's like working with an agency. So, but again, it's still I still feel like it's an odd time. I don't know if we've come out of that stagnation period or if it'll be 26. I think if we see a balloon pop and a market correction, I think that's going to put it all off by another year or two.
For
And
sure.
I wonder how these PE companies are dealing with these massive investments that they have into these firms that happened right after Dylan and I sold, right?
Right.
Dylan and I had this like bellwether thing, and then everyone was like, all right, this is the way, let's go here. And now, I don't know how well really CQL's doing. I don't know really how well Domain's doing. I assume everyone's doing really well, but at
But they're
least I know
smaller
those.
smaller deals, harder, harder deals, right?
Yeah, I think that's the way. I think people have to think in smaller pieces now. I think the day of trying to do big things is, you know, it's just there's a time and
I
a
think
place
what
for
you
it.
said on LinkedIn, like the one of the posts you had recently about truly composable and putting things together and testing and implementing, like it's not we were doing big bangs, right? $1 million project all at once.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and you had to like almost architect composable as a separate chart track underneath the whole thing, almost like you were doing it despite the larger initiative to set them up for their future, right? Because they
Right.
didn't really understand it either. But yeah, some kid commented like Mock made up composable, and I was like, buddy, like I didn't do a fact
Been
check on
around
it,
for a
dude.
long
Like
time. Been around
composable's
for
been around for a long time. I mean, it
you
was
want to
all
call it client server, like go back to client server, like way back.
yeah, yeah, and that wasn't just client server, that's what everyone forgets. They think just because it's 2 words, it was 2 things, and might have been, well, 3 clients, right? Because you had the swivel, and fucking 18 servers, right? So, I don't know, I'm excited, we'll see. I mean, I just feel like everyone's trying to get their feet underneath them right now, and there's a lot of people trying to create value. I still think brands are skittish with all the expenditures that happened, and everyone thought the COVID curve was going to continue. So,
Yeah.
um, I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of we'll see, I did talk to Zengel, and he is going to come on. We're going to get him on after holiday.
Oh, good.
We missed Nava. Did you and Nava align on one? He said he came back from Spain with the flu. So,
I know we've got to get another date on the books, but no, we don't have a date yet.
all right, I'll tackle Zengel.
I'll tackle Billy. Yeah.
Yeah, Zengel's very interested in coming on, and
Cool.
I just spent a week with him in I spent a week with him in Sonoma.
It'd
So
be cool to hear his perspective, especially because he went from the brand side over to, services.
yeah, well, that's interesting that you say that because my questions for Paul are already like queued up. Like, as a brand side guy, like I want to know, what are 3 things he wishes agencies either knew or appreciated more. And then as an agency guy, now he's over there, right? He's
Right.
not, he's not writing checks. He's requesting them. What are 3 things that we wish brands either knew more about or appreciated more or understood more. I don't know what the right word is. So, because he's one of the few people besides Marco Bond that's been on both sides.
Yeah.
Harvey, obviously,
Right.
as well. Anybody else you think we should be lobbying while we're here together to get on here?
Well, I'll talk to my buddy here soon from Equinox because that would be a fun conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Harvey. Yeah.
Okay.
Different
Good.
Harvey. Different Harvey. Yeah.
Yeah. That's is he the founder of Equinox?
No, he's the chairman and CEO of Equinox now, but he went into the family that had Equinox and then did a buyout of the family, and now
Yeah.
it's owned by Related. If you know the Related companies that build buildings, you see Related buildings. Stephen Ross, Stephen Ross, he owns Related. He's a big Michigan guy. It's the Stephen Ross School of Business at the University of Michigan. That's Stephen Ross. So he owns Related, and Related owns Equinox. But a
Oh,
lot of interesting things because even during Harvey's span, like he bought SoulCycle, and then he had to guide all of that COVID, which almost put him out of business because you couldn't go in. Think of it, you couldn't go into a gym, you couldn't go into a SoulCycle. I mean, what do you do?
yeah. There's a lot of interesting information coming out about the right, the wrong, and the indifferent of COVID, and how a lot of us were just kind of duped and railroaded, but we won't go there.
Yeah.
What do you think about having the wives on separately?
I think, well, we could have them on together or separately, but yeah.
We
If we
could
have them
do
on together, we might get railroaded. We may not get any words in.
well, I don't think people would mind me being quiet for an hour. I don't think that would be a bad thing. I think people would enjoy me being potentially uncomfortable. And
It
not
would be fun. I think it would be super fun. We should do that. I think it would be
like I
super.
could set her up on a laptop upstairs so that I can't like give her a look and just be like,
Yeah, you can't
"Honey,
help her. Like,
honey, honey." I don't have nails. She's got nails. She can do this and it clicks. I can hear it downstairs. It's like, I'm like, I mean, stop. But we should do that in the new year. You're going to be down in Mexico. You got to get her in a different room and we'll do the four of us and
oh, that'd be awesome.
maybe take everything on a very different track on like what, like, husbandry is not a good word because I think that's a farming thing, but
Well,
more.
it could be what was I mean, part of it could be what was it like being a partner to us when we were heavy in running our businesses.
I don't know if I want her telling that story. I've heard bits and pieces of it. So, although I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be where I am today in the position I'm in today if it wasn't for Shannon. Um,
100%.
you know,
100% for me.
and we've only been together for 7 years, but she's made such a profound impact on me. And honestly, dude, she just makes me want to be a better person. Like she gives me lists. I have a list of stuff I have to do today. Like, I don't want her to come home and be disappointed that I didn't do these 4 things, and she doesn't wanna give me the list because she feels like she's nagging me, and I'm like, "Babe," like, I'm like, I don't know if I told you, so golf's done, so now I picked the guitar back up, so I'm playing
Oh,
guitar.
wow.
Well, I'm learning to play guitar, we'll put it that way, but, so I literally spend I probably spend 45 minutes a day doing the guitar, I spend 45 minutes a day working out, I spend a
Right.
couple hours a day cooking, and, that's about it.
Well,
Well,
we've got 35 years. I mean, we got married in 1990.
yeah, well, you had babies and stuff, and now, like, you actually have, like, grown-ups as kids.
Yeah, 27 and 29.
Jack was just home for the weekend.
Wow.
So, funny story, Jack. So, for anyone that doesn't know, I have 3 boys. Well, actually, Mason's here. He's upstairs right now. He's here for a couple days because his mom has to go take care of her father. But, so Jack's had a motorcycle, right? I told you his first
You
act of,
did.
like, defiance. So, he texted me a few weeks ago. Oh, you didn't even ask about me breaking down in New York. So he texts me a few weeks ago and he's like, "Hey, there's this thing on Bring a Trailer and it's for charity. All the money for this car is going to go to a trade organization in New York, and it's like to underprivileged kids to train them on how to be mechanics, right? So it's a trade school, I believe, just on mechanics, pilot something. I forget what it was. He's like, I'll tell you what. He goes, if you would bid on this, it's nothing major. It's a little Toyota GR. He goes, I'll sell my motorcycle and we can get rid of the Jeep because he's in a Cherokee that we got him. And then and if you get, it's a stick. He's like, but I won't do the motorcycle anymore. And I was like, that motherfucker, like, how did he know? Like, how did he know that was the angle to take for this car? So I was like, well, why the change
It's
of
smart.
mind? No, it's pretty funny. I have all his text messages from, I said, well, what do you mean you'll sell your motorcycle? He goes, I was telling a friend about how upset you are every time I leave the house and how much you worry because he's had it and I worry constantly. And he worries too because everybody's an idiot when you're on a
People
motorcycle.
don't pay attention.
So he said, my friend said, why don't you imagine your father just bought his first motorcycle? and how you'd feel every time he left the house on a motorcycle, knowing that it's your father. And he was like, that he goes, "I never told you," he goes, "but that, like, affected me." He goes, I never thought of it that way. I never thought of, like, how worried I would be if you jumped on a bike and left the house." And, he's like, I think it's just time." He's like, "It's dangerous." He's like, "I'm willing to get rid of it." He goes, "I'll sell it," because he bought it with his own money. He wants to put all the money into an index fund, because 'cause we've
Wow.
been talking about that. He's 20. We've been talking about investing. He picked Palantir. Listen to this. He didn't buy any. He pointed Palantir out to me August of 2 years ago.
Wow.
Go look at Palantir August of 2 years ago.
Wow.
I think it's up 2,400%.
Jeez.
And, he's a smart kid, so he wants to do that. So I bought the car. I did. I won the car on the auction, and then it's here. It's at the house, and now I taught him how to drive stick. No one in the house but me knows how to drive stick, so now he knows how to drive stick. And now we have a little Toyota Corolla GR in the driveway. That
Great.
all the money went to a
Sure.
local trade organization, which I was happy to pay it. And I paid under sticker for anybody listening to this. I paid about 10 grand less than I think the car was worth, but and it
That's
was a
awesome.
brand new car. I only had a few miles on it. So I thought that was pretty brilliant.
That's really cool. And it's a good sales job he did on me. That's pretty good.
Dude, I was reading it to Shannon and she looks at me and she goes, "What a masterful idea."
Pretty good.
Well, it was ending in a couple of days. So I was like, fuck. I'm like, I'll give it a shot, but I'm not going to overpay. And then all of a sudden I go, fuck. He's like, what? I'm like, we won. He's like, "We did?" I'm like, "Yeah." He couldn't believe it, right? Because that was a long shot asking your dad to throw down,
Sure.
for a car. So anyway, it's the cutest little thing. It's a fucking 3-cylinder. It's white. Like all the Porsches are white. So now this is white and black. And it's all-wheel drives like a little rally car, and it's shitty
Uh,
out. So I just fucking bring it out and I reef on it in the neighborhood. So it's just fun. Anyway, so what do you got going on for 26? Any strategic goals or plans for yourself? You know me, I stopped counting my sabbatical. I'm gonna start big boy in and doing consulting gigs and shit like that. I'm actually gonna start looking for meaningful shit to do.
oh,
That's my
good.
2026 plan. But what do you got going on in 26? Any big goals and objectives for you?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I mean, I'm writing the second book on culture, like you and I talked about that. So working on that. We've got, I don't know, we've got a lot of editing to do. I think we have 18 chapters or something. So a lot of editing to do. But I don't know. I mean, some of what Gertrude and I have been doing is a little bit of simplification. It's hard to say when you have, a few different houses, but yeah, simplify a little bit. We love traveling, but spend time, quality time with family and friends. In this month, I'll start thinking about, real goals for next year and really what I want to have happen. I mean, it was funny. We were in Mexico for Thanksgiving. We did a Temazcal, sweat lodge, and you look at the elements: earth, air, fire, water. And it's funny, like I'm looking at fire and what, a lot of people do different ceremonies, but what do you want to put in the fire? What do you want to burn away and give up for, 2026? And for me, it was like worrying. I mean, I don't feel like I worry, that much, but I think, worry too much about things, right? And so I would love to not waste energy worrying about things and kind of live more a trusting life and be a little more instead of doing and trying to operate things. And then it was interesting, like with wind and air, like what do you want to have blow into your life? And I don't know, what came up for me was like new relationships and new opportunities. So it was interesting. So I don't know how that will manifest, but I thought that was really interesting.
I love that. I've never done anything like that. I thought about going to Mexico maybe and doing one of those like guided ayahuasca
Yeah,
or sort of mushroom journeys and things like that. I got a lot of like, we don't really talk about my upbringing, but I got a deeply scarred under all of this
sure,
immaculate facial tissue. But my goals for 26 are pretty straightforward, and that's pay attention to health and
sure.
make myself my priority. I'm my goal is to donate on average about a week a month. towards something, some cause, whether it's mentoring or advisory work for free, or something here in the local area.
I love it.
For instance, I actually have a buddy. He's not a buddy. He's an acquaintance who's becoming a friend rather quickly. That's running for Congress for the first time in his life. Very successful business owner, and has decided that we have the Democratic seat has been held here for 10 years, and for the first time, it's actually going to be open, and he's running next year. And I'm probably going to put a significant amount of my branding and
Great.
messaging and those skills that I have around expressing and strategizing and things like that, towards his benefit, which
I
he'll
love that.
never hear this, so he doesn't know that's my plan, which is probably best that he doesn't know that. But so I've been spending this time there, but I want to get back to work. I'm fucking dying to just help people, and
Sure.
I got a gig right now I'm gonna do, but that's not gonna, that'll keep me busy for
That's great.
a little while, but it's not gonna scratch that itch that I have.
Yeah, I still got to get you down to Mexico, and we'll do a sweat lodge. I mean, that's a non-drug related one. I mean, obviously ayahuasca and those, peyote, those ceremonies are different, but this one's just, you have a shaman, but you're not doing any substances. You're just going into a sweat lodge and sweating, and just being with yourself. The shaman chants, and it's a very, very cool cleansing experience.
I would do that. It's not like a sauna, right? It's not like just going in the sauna for 20 minutes.
It's kind of like that, but I mean, they basically heat it. They have a fire outside, and they heat up these lava rocks, and then you go inside and you're sitting on sand, and they bring those rocks into the middle of it, and then they close it up, and you're in basically darkness, and they're putting water on it. So it's kind of like a steam room sauna, like steam, hot. And then you do like what they would say, four different doors, like for each element. So then they open it up and they bring in more hot rocks and they close it back up. And you're thinking about different things depending on who the shaman is. You're thinking about different, sometimes you're sharing different things, she or he is chanting and doing songs, but you're orienting around the elements, earth, air, fire, water. And even, you ask for permission going in and ask your ancestors to be with you, and if there's anything you need to hear or any guidance, that you would get that. So every time's a little different, but I always come out feeling great. I mean, you do sweat a lot.
I mean that stuff interests me. So
Yeah.
we have this thing called float here, which is like 2,000 pounds of salt, and it's a deprivation chamber. You go
Yeah.
in, it's dark, you essentially float in it, and it's trippy.
Yeah, I've done those
But
before.
But I'm also not like, contrary to popular belief, I'm not like a drug guy. Like, I don't do weed, I don't drink that much, I don't do
Yeah.
any substances, and definitely don't do any like, when I was a kid I did, but like I definitely don't do any, any mushrooms. I don't do edibles. They fuck me up. I've tried it a few times and they ruined me. And I don't know if that's just because there's a fragility under all of this stiffness that I haven't dealt with, or I overindulge, but we'll see. I appreciate that. I will make an effort to come down there
Yeah,
before
we'll
you.
take it down.
When are
Yeah.
you coming back? In April?
Yeah, we're going down, I think, on the December 29th. Like, we'll be down there for New Year's, and then we'll be there January, February, March, with some trips back. Like, I'm coming
Yeah.
back at the end of January. Going to LA in February. I might go to Shop Talk with you in March, so some trips back, but we're pretty much down there and chilling. It's very relaxing. Like, we don't do a lot, but I mean, there's a gym. You can work out, you can do sweat lodges. I mean, we're doing Scott and I are doing a leadership week. So a bunch of people are coming down in January, like the January 17th to the 24th, where we support everyone, do kind of ideal state action planning, trying to help people get to where they want to be. And we'll do things like that. We'll do a sweat lodge, we'll do a sound healing, um, and do some different, breath work stuff, but it's part of the week we'll spend together.
You have golf down there?
There's a couple courses, one's terrible and one's just okay. So um, no big major clubs down there. There's a place you can go play, and then I just put a golf simulator in so I can swing in the winter. So I just put a golf sim in indoors, near our place, so we can play. But there's a nice gym that's air conditioned. There's padel and pickle courts, and so it's kind of a relaxing, get some exercise, get your mind right kind of place.
Hmm. Okay. I will definitely make time to come down there.
Yeah, I'd love
So,
you
but
guys.
before we close off our hour of shooting the shit, which there's not even much to edit out of here, so anyone that's made it this far, I wanted to like ask a couple of like serious questions because you do a lot of advisory work, board work, you do these leadership retreats and things like that. I mean, you've got a parallel yet different perspective on everything than I do. What are like to get a couple answers from you, but what are some things that you see over and over out of businesses, agencies, executives, young adults, that you wish you didn't keep running into? Like what are you seeing out there that isn't as challenging of a solve, or maybe if people looked at it a little different way, that we wouldn't run into it as
Sure.
senior executives and mentors like we are as we do.
I mean, I think there's a few different things, and I'll take a couple different perspectives. One's more social emotional intelligence related, I think. I mean, I think it's funny, like, I lead we do this leadership week, but I also lead leadership groups, right? Or we meet every 3 weeks. And it's funny that, and I think you'll relate to this, TJ, like people kind of ask me, like, when am I going to stop being afraid? And I don't know if you and I have talked about that, but
We have.
yeah, but, and I just tell people, I'm like, seriously? Like, as your business grows, you're going to have more employees that are dependent on you. You're going to have bigger clients and you're going to have bigger problems. And if you're not growing as an individual with your business is going to fail. Like, your business will outgrow you. And that's where you see sometimes founders get replaced or they bring in someone else to run the business. But I just try to tell them, like, listen, you have to grow your capacity to contain more. Right, because as that CEO, like, you're the chief executive officer and you're the face to everyone. And that doesn't mean you're not afraid, and it doesn't mean you're not hurt, and it doesn't mean you're not angry. It means you're more of all of those things, but you have to contain more because you still have to put that face on. I'm not trying to say you have to be fake, but you kind of have to have unconflicted consciousness where you like, yeah, I'm afraid, and yeah, I'm hurt, and yeah, I'm angry, whatever, but I still know that we're gonna make it. And I'm 100% committed to it. And you kind of, you know what I mean? As CEO, you led your business. You kind of have to give people sometimes the confidence, like, we're doing it. Like, we're doing this. It doesn't mean it's not scary and there's shit that happens, but as that leader, and it doesn't have to be a CEO, but as that leader, can you contain more? Because you still have all that feeling, but then you still choose how you want to be and be that person. Because I see too many entrepreneurs kind of get in the scarcity mindset, and then their organization's culture becomes all about scarcity. Or they get in that reactive mindset, and then their whole organization, they're not saying on any piece of paper, like, this culture is about scarcity, this culture is about reactivity, but their activities, the way they think, the way they act, that culture, right? And so that's one thing that I think for leaders to understand, like, you and I have talked about, TJ, so much, like, how do you take care of yourself outside of work? So you're saying all of it, right? Self-care, workout, meditate, do yoga, do, your martial arts, whatever. So when you go into the office, you're ready to give yourself to your people. And I think too many leaders get into that ego trap where they're wanting all their employees and all their customers to affirm them. Like, give to me because I'm so hungry. Like, tell me how great I am, instead of, I've taken care of myself. I've taken super responsibility for my well-being. And so now I come to work and I affirm my people and try to make them be the best they can be. And I think I mean, that's not trivial, but I think it's one that I see a lot.
Yeah, I love the when you say, when am I going to stop being afraid? I mean, the truth is, if we're being truthful, even as a father, I was never not afraid. Like, I was petrified every day, but it was my job to not amplify that. And it was my job to hide. I mean, hide's probably not a good word, but absorb and deflect.
Yeah.
And, you know, I could take all the fear of everybody so
Yeah.
that other people had not no fear, but a little less fear, right? I
It's
think that's
almost
an
you give 'em
interesting
a bit of
concept.
a backstop, right? But me, like, I had to, learn to take care of myself better because you need an outlet for that fear. It's not like it goes away.
Correct. Yeah, when I found martial arts, 2008-ish, that was like a big unlock for me. That was probably
Yeah.
the most therapeutic thing I ever did because I don't talk to people. I never talked to my wife at the time, and
Yeah.
I talked to Shannon. But the fear thing's interesting. I love the self-care and affirmation comment that you made as well. But if you're doing it right, you're always afraid. Like I try and tell
100%.
people, if you've never like skydiving, like those first 5 seconds out the plane, they
It's
give
terrible.
you that's fear that, you can't even describe, but it will literally propel you for 2 weeks, right?
Light you
So,
up. Yeah.
yeah, some fear is, it's only debilitating when you avoid addressing it. I think the real fear is hiding from the things that bother you and hiding through the things that you're scared of and hiding from the things that you need to do to quell that anxiety a little bit or quell that
Yeah.
issue.
Well, and I
I,
think as men to get over the, "Oh, you're not supposed to be afraid." Like, that's bullshit. We're all afraid. And what would courage be without fear? I mean, courage is to be afraid and do it anyway. It's
yeah,
not to be afraid.
well, I think afraid means a lot of things. There's things I'm afraid of because of what it might do to me, and there's things I'm afraid of because of what I might do to it.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
they're very different fears, but it's a real thing. We also have a generation of young professionals that you know have never really faced real serious adversity. So I happen to have faced the type of adversity that would make you cry.
Yeah.
I could tell an hour of stories and barely get to my 10th birthday that you'd be shocked that I made it to where I am today. But I like that, and I think that's interesting. The affirmation thing for me, um, the thing that I see a lot that I don't think needs to be as prevalent is waiting for the right time, the right person, or the right guidance to do something that you want to do for yourself. I think that people wait to be told or convinced or mentored, and the truly great entrepreneurs and the truly great learners out there are learners despite permission. And I think
Yeah.
if there was anything that I would wish I saw less of, it was waiting for the right time, waiting for the next thing,
Yeah.
waiting for this other opportunity, and by the way, I have learned that through experience, but
Yeah.
there seems to be a lot of waiting for the right moment when the right moment is the exact second you decide to make a
Mm.
movement. And it's not talking about it. It's not wishing for it. Listen, I'm a guy that has 100 skills that I could talk for an hour on every one of them. And, they're all self-taught. Self-taught's probably a strong word. They are imparted in me through a combination of my own actions and the gifts that I have extracted from others. Like I learn a lot from you, Rich. I learned a lot from Scott Stevens. I learned more from Eric Doty. Eric doesn't
Yeah.
know it, but Eric was as much of a teacher of me as he was a student of mine, right? There was this symbiotic, I don't know if that's the word, but
But that's
um,
like intentional learning, right? Like you had a lot of intention that you
well,
would.
yeah, well, I had a lot of unintentional learning too. That comes from making bad. So unintentional learning is when you make a bad decision and have to deal with the consequences. But I think the two of them are a big deal. And I just wish I get a lot of questions on, am I too old? Am I too young? Am I too this or am I too that? And listen, I'm 55 and I'm learning to play guitar, 53 and I started mountain biking for the first time in 20 years. I've been on sabbatical for almost 2 years and I'm literally doing my first gig where somebody's paying me and expecting me to add value, and they're paying me an enormous amount of money, and therefore I expect the value I have to impart on them
Yeah.
is of equal value, and that scares
Right.
me. you know? So I just wish people didn't wait. I think there's more opportunity today to do whatever's been in the back of your mind than there's been in the history of man. Um, and ideas are cheap, so go through 10 of them.
Mm.
And
I love it.
self-exploration is, you're going to learn something whether you liked it or not. So find something that you can be good at and devote yourself to it, and do it until you either hate it, love it, or decide it's not for you. And by the way, not for you doesn't mean you hate it. So,
Right.
that's a big thing that I see out there right now.
That's cool. I love that.
Well, listen, this is the first podcast because you and I have gotten shot to shit literally
Been a
in
while.
probably a year and a half. So I appreciate you taking the time. This will be our
Like
last
to talk to
podcast
you.
of the year. So this is going to be our pre-holiday drop. So anybody that's still listening to Rich and I hope you all have a great holiday. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And Rich, dude, have fun down in Mexico. Have fun Christmas. Are all the kids coming up?
We leave for Ireland tonight, and so the
I
kids
love that.
and Mitch and Sam, they're all coming over to Ireland. So we're gonna do Christmas in Ireland for you know, first time in the house. It's taken 2.5 years, but that's a separate topic to read.
Irrelevant.
It
Well,
is what it is. We're gonna have a great time.
hey, it's a beautiful area. You're going to be freezing your ass off out on the Atlantic Ocean, on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean with
We
the
are. We're
winter.
gonna do some cold plunges. Christmas. We did it last year, Christmas Day, jump in the frickin' water. So it'll be fun.
No way. I wouldn't even do it being coaxed by a family I was staying with in Ireland. So listen, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you doing
Love
these
you, brother.
podcasts this year, and I love you to death. And have a great holiday. And everybody still listening, thank you for listening to another episode of Tea with Rich.
Happy
Have a
holidays.
great time. See you,
Thanks,
buddy.
brother.
Bye.